Good morning, everyone. I have hereby our print specifications of an application, a backend application of one of our customers. Is there anyone willing to read this documentation and give me some feedback by this afternoon?
Let us see some hands, please.
Just one brave man, thank you.
One brave man. Let us ask another question. How many people in this room do think that their development team is actually keen on reading all this kind of documentation? Let us see some hands again. No more hands again.
That's the same problem we have, in fact. We have, as business analysts, so many information we want to share, and we are writing a lot of documentation. But we are trying to find a solution to have less documentation, written documentation, but we don't want to lose the information. And that's why we started to have our journey in visual facilitation.
Yes, but before we tell about our journey, let's talk about us. We are Anne and Nicolas. We are both working as a business analyst at Novado. Novado is a software innovation company. Please do visit our website to get more information. The reason why we are here today is we got a lot of information and a lot of knowledge on the topic of visual facilitation, and we want to share this experience and this knowledge with you today with the rest of the BA community.
So to start with the visual, we started to have our agenda for today into visual. So instead of just having a PowerPoint, we wanted to have something that is during the whole meeting in front of the people, and you can follow what topics we will discuss. And each time a topic has been discussed, you can really check it off. So it's a more interactive way of doing things. So for the agenda today, Nicolas told already who we are, so I can already check this off. And we will continue with the why we are using visual facilitation. We will tell you something about how we started our journey and where we are till now. And of course, we will give you some takeaways at the end to get you kick-started as well. And we will also ask you maybe for some feedback. So as good BAs, we always start with the why. So it has been proven that visuals are committed to long-term memory more easy than words. Words are very abstract and not always easy to retain, whereas visuals are more concrete and so easily to remember. So that's why we decided to use visual facilitation, as we are convinced that if you can visualize it, you can understand it and make it understandable for your stakeholders.
As Peter Hans, the previous speaker, was saying, you know the saying that an image tells more than 1,000 words. And as we are in the business of storytelling, images are a very good way in order to tell stories. To tell stories that people can remember when they attended your workshop or attended your meeting. So this is a great way in order to communicate your message. And you must say, it's a fun way as well.
So this is an example of how a visual can simplify complex information. This is the map of the subway of London, and if you should explain this to your people or customers, then it will be difficult to explain and also difficult to understand. But this gives you already an idea of the complexity of the subway, of how many lines and so on. So it's already first step to visualize, to understand things.
So let's talk about our journey. As you will see on the screen, we moved on the left corner from rather boring meetings sometimes into far more interactive co-creation workshops. That's one thing, and another thing is, you see, we moved on from big piles of documents, requirement documents, into far less documents and for more the use of visual elements in order to have our workshops and our requirements. So the first step in our story is we introduced post-it workshops, and I'll show you a real-life example, which is an example of an application we've made, where you see a kind of feature map here with all the different actors at the corner, with having different color post-its, and having this way of post-it workshops, we already saw that there was lots more interaction with our stakeholders, the people that were attending the workshop, and we had a lot of more involvement as well. So this was already one step ahead for us.
So the second stage in our journey was using basic digital visualization. So we started just with the word context model. We wanted to have something more visual, and so you see in the middle the central application, you see the stakeholders, and between them you see some arrows with functionalities. This was just the beginning. So it's basic information, but it gives an idea about what's the context about it. In fact, this is very basic because we were using images from Google and just some arrows from Word, for example. But this was the start.
We took it a little further and we moved on to have rich pictures as well. As you can see, a rich picture is a picture which has all elements on it. It has all the stakeholders on it, it has arrows between the stakeholders, and you can even see the flow of information going from one stakeholder to another. We use this kind of technique in order to limit the scope of the project. We'll talk about these things in our project, and other things that are not on the map are not in the scope of the project. We also use this kind of technique in order to onboard new people. I'm sure you don't know about this project, but if you just have a look at the different elements, you can make up the story of the project, and I'm sure it will be quite realistic and quite very near to the context of the real project.
So, and then we wanted to start to draw, but there we were a little bit afraid because we were thinking we cannot draw at all. And then I saw a TEDx presentation by Graham Shaw, who is also telling about the fear of people to draw, and he wanted to prove the opposites. And also last year on this BA conference, and the same for this year, there was a conference about thought sketching. And Nicolas followed that workshop, and so we started to draw. So you see what he's created there. And we were very interested, and we wanted to learn more.
So that's why we took a one-day workshop at our company with a lot of people that were involved. As you can see there, we have a project manager, we have a developer expressing their ideas in a visual way, and we have somebody from HR and doing some talk about the topic. And you can see the entire team attending this workshop. At the end of the meeting, or at the end of the workshop, we were convinced that we could draw enough in order to communicate our message in a visual way. And nobody of us has a drawing background, so that's a big benefit.
So with that one-day experience, we should try it. We tried it in real life. So we went to one of our customers, real project, so to try it out with our posters. And again, we were worried because the first customer we had is a governmental customer. I don't know if you are, have experience with governmental customers, but normally they are used to have a lot of PowerPoints, a lot of documentation, words, and so on. And so we came into the room with our posters, with our agenda, and so I was a little bit worried. But it was a really success. They liked it very much. There was a lot of interaction between us, and therefore I have also some examples of that workshop. So here you see, that was our agenda for today, for that day. So persons knew what functionalities or what topics would be discussed, and again, like I'm doing here, we checked off every topic that was discussed. So a very good way to have interaction with your pub. A next example is of our own Novado website that we made. So we had a workshop meeting, and we put the goals on that meeting, so the flags are every time a goal that we had to reach during the meeting.
Another example you will see, and I will translate it because it's in Dutch, is one workshop we took about insights we wanted to gather in order to build some Power BI dashboards. And people that were attending the workshop could write their requirements with post-its and stick it on the matrix with value and effort. And in this meeting we saw there was much more involvement than we had earlier. people had really to stand up and stick it somewhere on the board, and they all got the overview of the entire thing. So after the meeting, it was far more easy in order to prioritize some requirements. We also had another workshop, and you see another example here of a priority matrix, again with values and even with the trash bin of requirements that we decided in the group that weren't that important anymore, so we could put them in the trash bin. Another example I have here is an application email I talked about during a meeting with a product owner, and instead of going to my desk after this meeting and start writing out all the requirements, I just started drawing during this meeting. Then at the end of the meeting, everybody that was in the room had a common understanding of what the application email was going to do, and so no further documentation was needed. I could take this picture and go to our development team and could talk them through the picture, and they knew what we wanted to build. So that was a very good example of having visual facilitation.
This is another example of our workshop we had with the government people. So instead of just telling the people who they are and to define the stakeholders, we had a poster on it, and we decided to draw the people that were in the room. And in fact, instead of just saying, okay, I'm Karin, for instance, I'm 49-year-old, and I'm the expert for accountancy, we asked them what goals he wanted to reach during the workshop. What was he expecting? So when we put it on the poster, and also what was he thinking about a possible solution, what would be the first steps? Instead of us telling us a possible solution, we asked him. In fact, this would be probably not the solution at the end, but we had the interaction. He was thinking with us. So this was, again, an example of having interaction. Another thing we did is, during the first workshop with people, we want to know which tasks they are performing. And again, people can tell I'm doing this and this and this. We put post-its on the poster, and we asked them immediately what the feeling was, what they have. So you see the tasks there are going beneath. So things were not going so well. And the person who was telling me was a little bit afraid because he was saying, oh, it seems that I don't like my job. But then I said, don't be afraid. It gives you a reflection of what is going on and what the problems are, and therefore we are here to find a solution. And we find some underneath problems that they would never have told us if we wouldn't just ask what the tasks are. But that person was telling us his frustration about that his job now he had to be done in one day, and before it has been done by three persons. So he had to work during the weekends to get the job done. So a lot of frustration he had. So again, he had to have the facts and the figures at the end of the X days. But in fact, he wanted to give advice, not just facts and figures, but he wanted to give advice how his customers could improve. But there was no time to give advice because he had to work on the facts and the figures. So that was a lot of information we got underneath his story. And then we decided, and then we decided to talk about what things would improve. So, for instance, automation should improve things so he would feel better.
So my final step, we want to talk about is user story maps. User story maps are kind of maps that are highly promoted by Jeff Patton, and they are just a very great way in order to prioritize and to organize your user stories. We took some examples again.
Yes, this is a user story map that we were using just to have a complete common understanding. So with some specific stakeholders and specific things. And that helps us when you have the story with your customers and we go to our developers to tell them through all functionalities. And also if they have questions at the time, we put the questions on the poster. And also if they have some technical difficulties that they see already, we had to take into mind, we put them also on the poster. Very important to know, we try to define the MVP, the minimum valuable product, and we decide what we will do in the second phase and what will be in the first phase. And also a little dustbin.
Another example is the one of our corporate website, where you see again the personas, the goals that we wanted to achieve in order to build our website. We defined MVP and other releases. But more importantly, as the previous speaker was saying, it was about people telling stories to each other. And that's why we used a lot of visuals, a lot of wireframes, a lot of canvases. And after this meeting, we took a lot of photographs of all the things that were going on. And basically, these were our meeting notes. And not a lot of other documentation needed to be written out in order for our programmers to start building our corporate website. We took it even a step further because we work on different locations. We moved from user story maps in a manual way to a more digital way as well. As you can see, you can nicely organize things into releases. And with the software we are using, we have the other benefit that we can push this kind of release straight to Microsoft TFS Online, where our developers start coding and start using everything, so there is no other information needed or overdraw.
So there we go. This was our journey, and of course we have some takeaways from you. So what were the things that we believed that were very positive for us? So instead of